Hey guys, welcome to the senior project. First of all, let me say congratulations, you made it to this point. So I just wanted to provide like a little video demo. Well, not so much a demo, but a little bit of a video discussing about the project itself. Hopefully you had the opportunity to read the syllabus. So after you read the syllabus, you have a basic understanding. This project is unique because of the class size. Not only is it going to be a senior project, but it's also, we're going to have the advanced programming class, which is the 262 that most of you have already taken. Some of you are actually in both of the courses, so this should be quite interesting. So both areas will play a role within the project. This is a large scale project for us because the magnitude of it is we're actually dealing with a client. We're not dealing with a made up client. This is a real person, individual. So a little bit about the background here. So a lot of wineries in the Pittsburgh region don't have their own vineyard. So they need a way to get grapes. And so there's distributors in Pittsburgh. There's two distributors in Pittsburgh area. And one of them is Some Fresh Foods is the people that we're going to develop software for. So what they do is they provide grapes, they provide grape juice, and so forth. Those are probably the two key things that they provide to consumers, and consumers being people like myself, just a home winemaker, or wineries in the region that do not have a vineyard to get their grapes. And some of the vineyards in the area, there are some known grapes that do not grow really well in the region. So in order for them to get grapes, they get them from California. So they come from different areas of California. It could be like up north, Napa, it could be as low as Fresno and so forth. This is an interesting, it's interesting to me, but I think it's an interesting need for them. So the problem that they have today is they have an old software application that was written in Microsoft Access. So those of you familiar with it, the backend is in VBA, which is Visual Basic Programming, something that I used to do years ago for clients as well. And it has a lot of problems with it. One of the key things that they have, key issues that they have is it's on a computer that belonged to a guy that they took over the business for. The people who were running this aspect of the wine business, they took over for a guy that was sick. Unfortunately, he had passed away, so they have his laptop, so they can't reach out to him for help or whatever. So I've stepped in and helped them, modify a couple things with the application to kind of get over the hurdle before. But at the end of the day, I recommended that, if you want a really good solution, and this is before I even knew that I would have an opportunity to teach a class like this, I was thinking maybe a year and a half ago that, hey, you know what, down the road, this could be something really valuable because, students are going to get they're going to have a real client, they're going to get that real knowledge, they're going to get that experience you can add to your resume and so forth. So, here we are. So what the problem is now is this application, it works, right? But it's not always going to be there. It's going to eventually fade away, and it's going to be, damaging to a client. So what our goal is to develop a web application. This application is going to enable them a better opportunity. We're going to have, we'll be using GitHub, so our source code is going to be safe, so they're not going to lose the source code ever. We're going to be pushing it out to a web host platform, and so forth. So I think it'll be exciting. I think it'll be fun. I've gone in and grabbed some screenshots of the existing platform, and we're not looking to make it exactly the same. We want to make it better and come up with our own, design based off of their functional requirements. So next Tuesday, which is I think the 17th, we're off on Monday, is when the clients are going to come in to the CMPS 262 class. That's on Tuesday, 6 p.m. I would like you guys to either be online. I know you guys are in an online class, but it's very important that you hear what Mike and Tammy have to say. They are the directors of this line of business at the Sun Fresh Foods. So I'll provide a link to a Teams meeting that you'll be able to join remotely, or you're welcome to come in. So I think it's very valuable to come into this either in or online to listen to what they have to say. I'm not going to record the session, that's important. They'll provide the requirements, and then next week we'll start, like this week right now, Monday we'll start Sprint Zero. Sprint Zero is basically identifying, making sure you have everything set up. You have Visual Studio set up, which I think most of us already have it set up. But I want to verify that we have Visual Studios. I sent you guys a link. Some of you, I didn't have your ID for Elements. I'm not sure if you have one or whatever the case is. We make sure that you're an Element because we have a senior project group that that's where I want all the chatter to happen. I want to make sure that you guys are going to be able to connect to Azure DevOps boards. I'll explain what that is later, but it's going to be a way that we manage our tasks. I want to be able to make sure that you're able to commit something to Git because that's important. We want to be able to, make sure that we have all the basics in place because this project is not going to be like any class that you've taken from me before. In the past, I've been very lenient and say, oh yeah, sure, no problem. You could turn that in. You have to turn your stuff in on time. The bottom line, if you don't do that, you're going to fail the course and you need this to pass. So, do your best. You have problems, come to me. So this is very important. When we have the requirements from Mike and Tammy, we want to set expectations of what we really think that we could accomplish. And we'll have that meeting at that time. I don't want to set expectations to a point where we can't complete something. I want to make it reasonable. So let's say that they throw the kitchen sink at us and say, we need this, and that. We evaluate it and say, listen, there's a lot here. And I don't think that we can accomplish that. We can only accomplish A, B, and C instead of D, E, F, G, and H. And that's what us as a group will come up with. This project, I'll act as the project manager. So I'll be responsible for driving to something you'll learn, something called features or user stories. What those are, they follow an agile standpoint, and that'll be a separate video talking about what that is and so forth, because that plays a key role of your assignment as well. But nonetheless, I'll play that role and provide that information. There'll also be a login authentication piece that we'll be working on that I'm actually going to help you guys with because the one thing about writing code, and hopefully you've learned at this point, if you have reusable source code that you can use, then use it. And that's what I'm going to help here because I've developed something similar for myself. And so I think it could be beneficial. The code's going to be shareable. It's going to be through GitHub and so forth. So you're going to be able to access it and see how it works. One of the things that I wanted to do differently, one of the problems that we've had developing here at the school is, we've had to go through the manual way of pushing up through FileZilla and then getting on a remote desktop. I'm not going to use that piece. I actually am going to have a different hosting platform. I'm going to build something called and we talked about in CMPS 262, I'm going to build a continuous integration and development pipeline that links to GitHub and the web host platform. So what that means is when you push your code to GitHub, it's going to automatically do a build and push it out to the host. So what we'll do is I'll set up a dev environment. So we'll have a URL that you'll be able to go out and evaluate. But what I want to do differently is I don't want anyone to be able to willy-nilly upload their code and just kind of go to town. We want to do pull and push requests. So I'm looking for you guys, senior project people, to be involved with that. So doing the pull and push, basically we need somebody to review the code and say, hey, this looks good. Let's go ahead and push it in type of thing. We'll do a refresher on all that, so nothing to worry about. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I wanted to make this video. It's Sunday morning. I'm going to be getting ready for Steelers game, so I wanted to do kind of wide awake here. So anyways, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll post this video to Element, and I'll also post it to Schoology. Next video will be talking about Agile, what Agile is, why does it play an important role, and so forth. So if you have any questions, as always, reach out. If not, Have a good Sunday. I'll see you guys this week. So cheers. Bye.